Hey guys, Christ169 coming with another upload. This is breaking news. Been around for about a week or two, but I want to get some sources together before I talk about this. Very big news. EVGA is no longer going to make graphics cards. You hear it right. EVGA is getting out of the graphics card business. I watched Jay's 2 cents. I watched Gaming Nexus. Hey guys, Crisis169 here. This is something very big because EVGA is pretty big when it comes to graphics cards. I have an MSI myself. It's a question how many people are going to be banning ship on this. Yes, I'm wearing a trippy shirt. It's kind of trippy right now. I go back to work today. Later today, a night shift. But beside the point though, my cool shirt here, trippy shirt. So what does it mean? What means a lot of things. What means one, the EVGA is no longer going to be creating graphics cards. They're stopping with the 30 series. They're not going to the 40 series. NVIDIA kind of screwed the pooch on them. Because they even said, NVIDIA said, and I kind of read this for what it was worth. And got to myself, and I watched what Jay 2 cents had to say. The embargo, and see, these guys are more important than me. This is their livelihood. Me, I have a job outside of YouTube, so I don't have to, be summoned to a California spot. Even though I would like to go to those places, And of course, I'm a nobody, so I'm not expecting Jay 2 cents or Gaming Nexus to care what I have to say, or even Rich from Utah USA. These guys are a lot bigger than me. With the online views and all. But EVGA getting out of the business. They have, I think, cases. They have power supplies. They have, fans. They have keyboard, maybe monitors. And that's fun though. But I researched too, as well as J 2 cents and even the Gaming Nexus has. It's about 80% of their business is graphics cards. I say again, 80% of their money or revenue, it's not a lot, but it's 80% of it, is bought by graphics cards, sold by graphics cards. Now, I was a console scrub for the longest time until I got into PC gaming. Thank you, Justin, Mr. Lisa, for building my first rig. I started with 2060, it was a Zotac, now I have an MSI 3070. Why I say that is because there's two different companies that NVIDIA do business with. You might be asking yourself, Crisis, why should I care about this? Well, you should if you're getting into PC gaming, because it means one less person in the market. Now, NVIDIA is creating their own cards. Even though they told third-party people like EVGA and the rest of them, hey, we're not going to compete with you guys. And they are. Because their cards are cheaper, and they can sell cheaper because they're the manufacturers of the die, of the silicone computer program, the silicone chips. They are the supplier. And even Jay's 2 cents, Gaming Nexus, you've talked about, when you have that much of a foothold, into the market. Sorry, I'm belching, throw off a monster drink here. When you have that much of a foothold in a company, where you can literally fist your competition and just swing them around, and beat them against the table because you can, by creating the exact same graphics card that they're creating with the same specs you told them to create. You're fisting them practically up the rear end. And trying to be graphical, trying to be PG about it. But let's be honest with ourselves. EVGA got tired of servitude. But EVGA wasn't there 2 years ago. They weren't there 5 years ago. This company started in 1999. Same time as NVIDIA launched or came around. See, they've been around for a while. They've been around for a while. They all have. Been around for a while, both of them. one of the first companies that NVIDIA partnered with was probably EVGA, because of the fact that they started in 1999, around the same time as NVIDIA did. Probably NVIDIA probably earlier than that, but NVIDIA probably earlier than that, making graphics cards, making cheap ones probably. Let's be honest with ourselves. But processors were that, and I remember the Apple II and stuff. So I remember a long time ago, Apple II and Space Quest, Police Quest. J2 Cents might know, Game Nexus may not know. I don't know how old he is. I'm not even going to ask their age. It's none of my business. But I'm 40 years old, so I remember playing Police Quest and Police Quest. Police Quest and Space Quest. So I'm that old. So, that being said, though, is it safe to say that NVIDIA shot himself in the foot, or did EVGA did? We all have heard different rumors in tech magazines. I have, of employees in NVIDIA leaving the company for different reasons. It's like Microsoft and EA and Activision. You can come with that. Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart. But we have a third party partner, and multiple of them say the same thing about how negative it is to do business with NVIDIA. It kind of makes you wonder. Are we supporting? Am I supporting buying a NVIDIA card with the RTX ray tracing? Am I supporting that type of endeavor? It makes you wonder. Am I supporting that endeavor of that problem by buying a computer with 2060 and have my sister, my brother-in-law, and my father go in to buy me a 3070, even though I'm paying my father back, and that's fine, not a problem with that at all. But am I the one of them supporting that kind of practice? Now I bought an MSI. Now I didn't buy a NVIDIA Founders Edition. My brother-in-law could have been a lot cheaper. But am I supporting that nonsense? Now I didn't by having to buy an MSI, but they bought because it's the best one they could find. The price. Zotac wasn't bad because the MSI is a lot better. And I have an MSI motherboard, so MSI motherboard, MSI. I think I have MSI motherboard, MSI graphics card, so it compares better. And I have a Ryzen 5 5600X. So, but am I supporting that? Are we all supporting that by buying from NVIDIA? Yes, they dangle the carrot of RTX ray tracing. Ooh, wow. I can see Spider-Man. I can see Spider-Man's reflection on a wall window. Wow, I can see Spider-Man's reflection on a window. And I turned it on all the way up on 3070. It looks magical. Turned it off, turned it up, turned it down, very high. I have it on high settings on both graphical, Spider-Man, and on the ray tracing. Looks to be very high, looks great, but it does strain the processor. The graphics card, 100%. Turn it down a little bit, runs 80, 85%, maybe 90%. So good. So I've learned a lot. But been learning too as well. Am I supporting buying a graphics card with the NVIDIA type of stuff on it? Are we all doing that? We want the ray tracing, all the cool stuff, and DLSS. It does work though. I did try it. My monitor is 75 hertz. I'm giving a little foundation with the ray tracing capabilities, and also with the DLSS. I get about 65, almost 70 frames on Spider-Man, and it looks magical. Yes, my monitor is 75. It's locked at 75, but it does dip because of the ray tracing on it. But that being said, though, is that graphically important to the well-being of other companies out there, like EVGA, like a Zotac, like an MSI, like a Asus, or Timbuktu company creating graphics cards on the beating drum of NVIDIA that don't want you to have any fun? Because back in the day, EVGA used to create their own cards, using the blueprints from NVIDIA, have maybe 30 or 40, maybe instead of having 2 gigabytes of VRAM, they had 4. Ooh, magical, right? Now I think I had 6. My father has my old graphics 2060. He loves it. He plays racing games. Now, and I know the difference. I can tell with the textures, obviously. The 2 extra gigabytes is really helping him. When the VRAM, I have 8 gigabyte card. I know textures in my games are better too. With 2 extra gigabytes, we both won, but 2, yay, right? He had a 1650 Super, and I had a 2060, 60 gigabytes. So we both got pretty good upgrades on it. So I can't complain. Me personally, I think for what EVGA has done is is they told April, and it came out in April, that NVIDIA knew in April that they're not going to be making new cards. So they weren't sending them extra stash of dies or pure chips or whatever, because they knew they weren't going to make any more. So they knew this. So it wasn't like they were okay. Well, cool. We're going to send die. Oh my God! Now we're not making them. What are we going to do? No. So they knew this. That means that batch will go somewhere else. It may go to NVIDIA's pocketbook. It may, what, hell, you guys, we're going to make our own. We'll make 20,000 more of these and sell them, right? Whatever it was, whatever the number was, doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is this, okay? EVGA is out of a 30 series cards. When they're done, they're done. No 40,000. They have what G2 Senses and what Gaming Nexus is going. I'm giving props to them. Even what I read about a little bit before I did this video was they have 40,000 cards or test cards. They're not going to sell them. They'll probably burn them, let them in fire, day and turn like wild Indians. Or burn for heat when they have to shut down everything. In Gaming Nexus and G2 Sense have a fear of what's going to happen with the cards out right now. Well, EVGA CEO said they're not going to release any more. They're going to keep the ones they have already in stock. And as warranties come up, it breaks down, catches fire, burns ground, whatever happens to your card. If the warranty's so good, they'll send you a replacement one. Practically a brand new one that hasn't been out, haven't even seen the light of day yet. So, essentially, you're getting a brand new 3070, 3080, 3090, 3060, whatever you're getting. EVGA card. So they have stuff saying over that. But once those are gone, they're thinking probably into 2022 they're going to be gone. So once they're gone, they're gone. So you bought a brand new one and it breaks down 6 months later. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can find a used one online, but that's just blowing your foot off right there. If you find a used one that's been farmed on, you have a better chance of just using your CPU only to play games. You'd be better off doing that than buying a used EVGA or any type of damn freaking graphics card that's used. It's like buying used underwear. It's a very bad analogy, but same concept. You don't know what's been done with them. And they could have been farmed, all we know. Farming on those things. It could be made 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, or a year before it breaks down again, and you're back where you were a year ago. So I don't think it's a good thing for EVG users in the sense of long term. Short term, yeah, if you take a hammer and smack it, they probably won't give you a new one. But if it breaks down in 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, you might have a choice. But now October is going to be coming around. October 1st is literally Saturday, so it's about a week away. Okay, October is a week away. So you have to understand, October 1st is Saturday, in about 2 weeks from now. Okay? So, that being said, your cards are on a ticking time bomb if you have EVGA, because your cards are not going to have as long shelf life. Now, this MSI card could go out 2-3 years from now. I hope it doesn't, but it could. 2060 lasts about almost 2 years. roughly a whole year. Ran great. Of course, it's a small car compared to this one. This one's a damn freaking brick. Going, you can hit something with this thing. How big it is. So that being said, though, is there fear about this? I'm more afraid, and Jay's 2 cents, and also Game Nexus really hate this home, and even Chris Tech USA. I'm saying this too, as a retail worker who works in retail and supply chain, and people in supply chain who are working in supply chain, and my counterparts are doing differently though. You have 280 employees, EVGA. Let's say 100 of them, 180 of them, let's say that, are working on graphics cards, testing them. The guy who tested them now is going to be out of a job because there's no reason to test them. They didn't have a job anymore. So the engineers creating the graphics cards don't have a job. The guys shipping or putting them in the boxes don't have a job. Person putting them on the main box freight pallet doesn't have a job. The person jacking them up and carrying them up to the truck or to the forklift doesn't have a job. Operator doesn't have a job. A lot of these guys don't have a job because you can't have 180 people just making keyboards and maybe a monitor and maybe some power supplies. Yes, you can sell power supplies. Yeah, and 480s do sell. 490s do, 470s, 480s, 490s do sell. If they sell at all, wink, wink, they probably won't sell right away. Cause you have Uncle Biden out there spending money left and right like it's like it's going out of style. Uncle Biden grab everything with both hands. You have a government there just tax and spend, tax and spend. You got rent going up, mortgage going up. Mortgage lenders will be losing their damn jobs soon. Houses losing houses soon. We're rocketing towards a recession, but yet we're gonna be okay to go buy a 49 graphics card. It's like back during the damn pandemic where the scalpers just wouldn't let us have anything while paying $2,000 for it. People were buying $2,000 with PS4s, PS5s, and graphics cards, and getting bags of rocks and bags of grass. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but what I'm trying to tell people is we are not in a great Trump time right now. We are in the Uncle Biden spend everything, run around, and hopefully it fixes itself. World right now, where Uncle Biden and ain't supposed to with the taxpayer credit card, and they're just swiping away, baby. Spend every nickel they get their hands on. They don't care. They're grabbing both hands because they don't have to care about it. They'll be dead and gone when this bill comes due. But we'll stop and worry about the 490s and the 480s, 470s. Yeah, we'll buy those. Money. You make a buy with farts maybe, because you can't buy it with money. If you're living with a rent $1,250, $1,300 a month, and you're making $20 an hour, but you get taxed practically almost 10%, 11%, 12%. I don't know how much you're getting taxed. Because Uncle Biden gets free stuff. Got to pay for that free stuff. Uncle Biden has to take his fair share. And I know it's going to ramp up the government, but they're not helping the situation with this. Even if they build more plants for damn stinking computer chips, it doesn't make a difference. If people lose their jobs and don't have a home to go to, don't have a place to call home and rest their bones, what's the point of graphics card going to do you under a damn effing bridge? People in California are losing their damn jobs and losing power because the power grid can't sustain anything. Meanwhile, you're going to have 180 people pretty much standing there doing nothing. Yeah, that'll last about a couple weeks. Yeah, that'll last a couple weeks. Then those people will be gone out of a job. They'll be out of a damn job. So they better hope. You better hope. Because rent's going to go up. Gas, when the liberals take the House and Senate back, and they're going to rock it back up to $6 a gallon again. All this $2 a gallon crap is only a ploy. I'm not stupid. I didn't come that last drop of rain. Okay? And I see the iceberg. And we already hit the damn thing. We haven't sunk yet. And we're going to. So the graphics card, the chips, the electric car crap, that's all fun and sweet and all. But what are you going to do when the boss says you're fired? You may get a severance package. Whoopie-doo. You know the government's going to be licking their chops for that, rubbing their hands. Because, like, thank you. Ching. Probably 30% of that go on taxes. So now you're left with like 20 grand, 30 grand in California. Hell, you're pretty much getting a tent and living in Nancyville. These people live in These people work in California. Texas, Tennessee, probably would have been a little better off for them. But they live in a state where people are living in tents called Nancyville. That's not a happiness. Nancyville, Nancy worrying about ice cream. She don't care about the poor peasant out there. You go out there and to die. Ice cream time. I know this is a rant about the government too, but this is everything coming together right now. This molding of EVGA stopping their damn graphics cards, it's only the beginning though, Capitanos. It's just the beginning, Capitanos. It's just the beginning. And when they pretty much fail and go out of business, because you can't buy a graphics card for a gaming rig, you can't afford a 490. Even if Nvidia takes a hit on it, are you gonna go out there and go buy a $2,000 4090, knowing that you have rent coming up? Rent means like, oh no rent, out you go, buddy. That great graphics card would be great when you're trying to sell for food. People like me who live in a house that's already been paid for is one thing. I have a job, I have a car, but I have limitations too. I don't have oodles of funds coming out my butt. I can't just fart out cash. Oh, I can go buy something else now. I don't have that. That's why I didn't buy a graphics card right away. I owe my father about $200 left over. And that's it, and I'm debt free with him. That doesn't bother me because this is the best way to do it. I'm not going to get a credit card either. So EVGA going out is going to hit a little bit, only because if you like that brand. But if you like that brand. They're saying they're stable, but I don't think they're going to be stable very long. Not with all the issues going on, with the California issues, with a lot of crap going on in the country, with rent going up, gas going up. You know if the Democrats win and keep more seats in the House, Senate, you know the gas is going to go right back up again. You know this. I know this. Unless you're a liberal peasant who goes yes master every day. You know this. On top of that, on top of the gas, the food, the baby formula issues, all this crap going on in the world right now, the country right now, EVGA leaving the golden goose, even because they're mad because no respect from NVIDIA. Respect my ass, okay? If you're gonna lose your employees, lose your business, go belly up, have Pope go this to your company, and you go out of business. What's the point? You shot yourself in the foot and blew the ball back of your head off at the same time. All because you felt a little disrespected. Disrespect my ass. I don't care. If you make 80% from the graphic, even if you're making only 25, say 80%. Let's say you're making, so 20% comes from, say, the power supplies and keyboards, main monitors. That's not a lot of money and time to spend on people, especially on a place of 280 people. Okay, now they're making like motherboards and coolers and CPUs, maybe, but they're not. They're not Intel, and they're not AMD. Brings another point though up. They won't go into business with Intel or AMD right now, or ever. So people, how many people? Say 180 people. We'll say it's 80 people plus are going to lose their jobs because EVGA feels a little hurt because of NVIDIA, big bully. You're going to lose people, okay? And if you decide 6 months later to get back into it, you're going to be left behind. Those people I come back here. No, I'm an MSI, or I'm over AMD right now, or I'm over an Intel right now. those people could go over to Intel and help them out, especially the engineers, people who built the damn things. Go over there and help the software programmers, software engineers who can make it stable software drivers for Intel's ARC architecture. And you guys come back, oh, we're ready to deal now. No, we don't need you anymore, EVGA. We have your people here now. See how you let those 80, 180 go? We hired them now. Now we're number one. We don't need you. You can go on and go die off in a corner somewhere. And that's where I think it's going to happen. People are going to leave and get let go. And they're going to call up AMD. They're going to call up Intel. And they'll wiggle their way back and they'll wiggle their way in there and start making graphics cards for Intel and or AMD, and make them better because now they have knowledge of NVIDIA and they can work around a lot of the problems that AMD might have or Intel has right now. With the ARC being canceled right now or being stopped right now. But they're not going to do that because they want to be a big baby about it. And that's fine, be a big baby. Cry and crap in your pants and cry. But you're going to be crying so much, you're going to be crying when you put down the for sale sign and you have to sell your company off because you don't have enough money to keep it up and you're losing money left and right. And I could be wrong there. But I got a funny feeling that EVGA is going to be the first one that gets a made example of when you don't just sit down, shut up, and do your job. Because nothing NVIDIA cares. AMD and ARC and Intel's ARC is probably come calling probably eventually, especially ARC from Intel, and they might entice those employees to leave. Hey, we can make cards over here. We need help though. Now you don't have an endless supply of time because we have no clue what we're doing. They go over there and start repackaging, start reinventing the clock, and making graphics cards that are better, or just as good as AMD, and or just as good or better than NVIDIA. How can you compete with that? EVGA, you can't. You're not even making cards anymore. 5 months later, well, we're back into it now. Well, after his team's already left. The heavy hitters are gone over to AMD and or Intel. That can happen too. That's in the same contracts to say, hey, you can't have this money, but you can't work with anybody else. Non-disclosure agreement. And that could be what they're going to do, probably. And maybe what they have to do to keep people around. But even then, people are like, I'm not signing anything, I'm going to go work for them. And just leave the job. Now, granted, leave a lot of money, but you know what, though? That money they're going to get dried up with taxes and everything else going to go on. And like I said before. So that being said, though, EVGA could be shooting themselves in the foot and blowing the brains out at the same time. My final thoughts are, EVGA, I think you done messed up. I think you allowed your emotions to get the best of you. I don't know how long's going on. Couple months, couple years, I don't know. But you guys are making a lot of money off this deal with NVIDIA. Maybe 10%, but sometimes 80% of your gross income is graphics cards. And you're making tons of money. And you walk away from that, it makes it look kind of stupid. Now, I'm not the owner or CEO of the company, so I have no clue. I have no dog in this fight. But, if I was a stockholder or a shareholder, like, we need to talk about this. I don't think he has stockholders. But if he did, I'd be like, we need to talk about this. Because we're losing a lot of money here. A lot of money on the table. All the money on the table don't get in their pockets. Especially if you own a truck company. But the owner doesn't seem to care about this. The CEO doesn't seem to care about this. He wants more about pride and respect. And that's fine. But respect and pride can cause you to lose your business and lose people's families. And before you know it, everybody's broke and living in Nancyville. my video, guys. Like, subscribe, notification, ring that bell. I'll see you guys later. I'll post it now. Peace out. Thank you once again. Christ169 out.